Well, hey, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Bible Podcast presented by Saint Church. My name's Caleb, and our hope is to help you study the Word of God every single day. Every day, we're taking time to upload episodes onto Spotify, Apple, and YouTube, where we are reading through a chapter of the Bible, looking at the context it was written in, and seeing what it has to say for us today. Today, we're going to be doing just that by continuing on in our study through the book of Numbers. We're going to be reading out of Numbers chapter 13. Now, really quick and really fast before we dive on in, if you are checking this out on Spotify, Apple, or YouTube, and you end up enjoying it, take a moment to subscribe, follow, leave a like, leave a rating. All of those things genuinely help make sure that you don't miss any upcoming episodes and help other people know this is worthwhile content to check out that they can trust and engage with. But with that being said, let's just dive right on in to Numbers chapter 13, and let's see what the Word of God has to say today. It says this: The Lord said to Moses, "Send some men to explore the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the Israelites. From each ancestral tribe send one of its leaders." So, at the Lord's command, Moses sent them out from the desert of Paran. All of them were leaders of the Israelites. These are their names. From the tribe of Reuben, Shammua son of Zakur. From the tribe of Simeon, Shaphat son of Hori. From the tribe of Judah, Caleb son of Jephunneh. From the tribe of Issachar, Igal son of Joseph. From the tribe of Ephraim, Hoshea son of Nun. From the tribe of Benjamin, Palti son of Raphu. From the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel son of Sodai. From the tribe of Manasseh, a tribe of Joseph, Gadi son of Susi. From the tribe of Dan, Amiel son of Gemali. From the tribe of Asher, Sethur son of Michael. From the tribe of Naphtali, Nabi son of Vasvi. From the tribe of Gad, Geuel son of Makai. These are the names of the men Moses sent to explore the land. Moses gave Hoshea son of Nun the name Joshua. When Moses sent them to explore Canaan, he said, "Go up through the Negev and on into the hill country. See what the land is like and whether the people who live there are strong or weak, few or many. What kind of land do they live in? Is it good or bad? What kind of towns do they live in? Are they unwalled or fortified? How is the soil? Is it fertile or poor? Are there trees in it or not? Do your best to bring back some of the fruit of the land. It was the season for the first ripe grapes." So they went up and explored the land from the desert of Zin as far as Rehob, toward Lebo Hamath. They went up through the Negev and came to Hebron, where Ahiman, Sheshai, and Talmai, the descendants of Anak, lived. Hebron had been built 7 years before Zoan in Egypt. When they reached the valley of Eshcol, they cut off a branch bearing a single cluster of grapes. 2 of them carried it on a pole between them, along with some pomegranates and figs. That place was called the Valley of Eshcol because of the cluster of grapes the Israelites cut off there. At the end of the 40 days, they returned from exploring the land. They came back to Moses and Aaron and the whole Israelite community at Kadesh in the desert of Paran. There they reported to them and to the whole assembly and showed them the fruit of the land. They gave Moses this account: "We went into the land to which you sent us, and it does flow with milk and honey. Here is its fruit. But the people who live there are powerful, and the cities are fortified and very large. We even saw descendants of Anak there. The Amalekites live in the Negev. The Hittites, Jebusites, and Amorites live in the hill country, and the Canaanites live near the sea and along the Jordan." Then Caleb silenced the people before Moses and said, "We should go up and take possession of the land, for we can certainly do it." But the men who had gone up with him said, "We can't attack those people. They are stronger than we are." And they spread among the Israelites a bad report about the land they had explored. They said, "The land we explored devours those living in it. All the people we saw there are of great size. We saw the Nephilim there. The descendants of Anak come from the Nephilim. We seemed like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and we looked the same to them." And that is the close of Numbers chapter 13. Now, really quick, there is some contextual stuff we got to really understand here, but let me just recap again. What did we just read? What we just read is that the people of Israel are needing to go into the land and begin to actually live in it, begin to actually find places to be as the Lord would lead. So Moses goes and he sends out these 12 spies. They go into the land, they spy on it, they look to see what it's like, they look to get information, they get recon, however you would want to call it. And as they're out there, they find many good things. They find good fruit, good food. They see that it is a lavish land that they would be able to enjoy. Yet in the midst of this, when they return, they end up speaking to that for a moment. They speak and they say, hey, look, good things are here. But they're afraid. They're afraid of the people who live in the land. Now, there are a couple who end up speaking differently. We see Caleb, who looks and he speaks boldly as he looks and says, we can go and do this because the Lord is with us. We see that Joshua, son of Nun, who ends up being Moses' aide or his kind of assistant in some ways, he also speaks of the reality that God is able to do this. We see him later on commend this reality. Him and Caleb are the only two who speak well of it, but the other 10, they don't want to do it. They're afraid. So what do? They start to spread a bad report. And actually, I want to give clarity to something because there are often times that we read this quickly without the context that's right in front of us, and we end up getting confused. Now, what do we read here? We read that it says, verses 31 to 33, I'm going to read all of it again for us really quick, and then we're going to really zoom in on it. It says this, but the man who had gone up with him said, we can't attack those people. They are stronger than we are. And they spread among the Israelites a bad report about the land they had explored. They said, the land we explored devours those living in it. All the people we saw there are of great size. We saw the Nephilim there. The descendants of Anak came from the Nephilim. We seemed like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and we looked the same to them. Okay, so really quick, some people would look at this verse and they would say, oh my goodness, the Nephilim. Where did we hear about the Nephilim before? Well, if you look back in our study, even on the book of Genesis, but you look back to Genesis, we see that it refers to these figures of the Nephilim who were there before the flood, before Noah and his family were getting on the boat, and they ended up enduring and making it through God flooding the earth in light of its sin. It speaks of these figures known as the Nephilim. Now, there's much that we could talk about, and I encourage you to go back to our study in Genesis if you want to hear more about the Nephilim. But what matters in this moment is that we have to acknowledge something. This is a bad report from people who don't want to go there, from people who want to incite fear. So what do they look and they say? Hey, you remember those big bad people who were so evil and vile and they're a little mysterious, but we just know they're not good? You remember those people that we read about before Noah and the flood? Those people, guess what? What if we told you they survived? What if we told you they're in the land we're supposed to go into? Wouldn't you not want to go there then if you found out these bad people that we've read about who we don't understand much about? What if we told you they were there? What are they doing? They're inciting fear by shrouding things in mystery, by, if we're being honest, giving a bad report. What's a bad report usually have? Lies. Why do I say this? Because again, why do we read this and we trust people giving a bad report? Now, Caleb, what he says is still true. We should go up and take possession of the land, for we can certainly do it. He is the one giving the good report. He looks and says, there's nothing like that. There's nothing that'll get in our way. We can go and do this. God has called us to it. Let's do it. The bad report says the Nephilim are there. The bad report is lying about the condition of the land because they're afraid. Okay, so friends, really quick. When we read in this chapter, once again, we have to remember the human condition that is present. So if you've read this before and you were like, oh my goodness, there was Nephilim in the promised land. That is crazy. That is wild. I want you to hear this really quick. I'm not saying that was something that you should have read and thought, and you should now feel foolish about. But I just want to give you the insight. I want to give you the context that these people were lying with a purpose for the sake of getting people to not go there. Yet when we actually read of the account of them going into the land, there's no account of Nephilim. There's no account of people like that. The closest thing you could get is people trying to point to Goliath being a giant. But once again, there's a difference that is delineated there. He's not referred to as a Nephilim. He's not referred to as this type of figure. So what are we seeing in Numbers chapter 13? We see the people of Israel go into the land, send their spies, grow afraid, and they try to lie their way out of having to go because they are afraid to go where God has told them they would be able to. Friends, today for you and I, what do we got to do? We got to make sure we're honest. That if God has told us that we can go into a place and do things, we should respond as Caleb did. We certainly can go. Nothing will stop us. Not make excuses, not make up false narratives for why we can't do something. Friend, today, I hope this helped you out. I hope this helped you in your study. If it did, man, I just want to say, take a moment. If you found it beneficial, follow, subscribe, leave a like, leave a rating. All those things are appreciated. If you have any questions about it, though, comment them down below. I'd love to dialogue with you. Always am happy to do that. But with that being said, thanks for jumping on today. I hope to see you tomorrow because we are taking time to study the Word of God every single day.